All right, everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining 79 Consulting's webinar to enhance your SCA web store with extensions. My name is Amanda Soto, and I'm the account executive for 79 Consulting. I handle key accounts, perform demos, and the occasional webinar. My 8 years of experience in customer success has helped me serve effectively as the key point of contact for sales and customer-facing questions. Now that I've introduced myself, let me give a quick overview of our company. 79 Consulting is the global face to our sister company, Twarana. Our name is derived from the atomic number of gold, which is 79. We would like to consider ourselves being at the gold standard for cloud services. We started out consulting in NetSuite and Salesforce in 2007, but have since evolved to provide support, managed services, and integration services for NetSuite and Salesforce clients. We also have designed and built solutions for the NetSuite platform with the intent of extending its functionalities. Our suite apps cover a wide range of industries and address every business need and can be found on suiteapp.com under the search Twarana. Now let me introduce our presenter today, Athara Nair. Athara leads 79 Consulting's e-commerce practice and has almost a decade of hands-on experience with SuiteCommerce, SuiteCommerce Advanced, Site Builder, and Core NetSuite. Athara and her team are responsible for building and maintaining and upgrading SCA websites. We hope you enjoy the content. For our webinar today, we're taking you through the basics of extensions, how you can use them to improve the functionality of your e-commerce site, and how to find useful extensions on NetSuite Marketplace. Athara, let's start with introducing our audience to SCA extensions.
Sure, Amanda. Hi, everyone. The extension framework has been available since the 2018.1 Aconcagua release of the SuiteCommerce platform. The change in architecture made it easier for developers to plug in new customizations, ensure version-to-version stability, and to enable business users to make changes to their website without changing a line of code. In order to properly explain extensions, we must first understand SCA architecture at a very high level and how things were structured before extensibility came into being. Up until the Kilimanjaro release, customizations to your SCA web store use techniques that involved editing the source code of the bundles that were shipped from NetSuite. This approach to customization is powerful and offers a number of benefits. However, it also caused a bunch of problems such as difficulty in upgrading websites from one version to another, difficulty in maintaining code, mixing together functionality and design, and so on. From a partner perspective, it also made it difficult for us to build modules that could be easily installed in different accounts. This meant that we had to develop code separately for each client account and each requirement, driving up costs of development for both us as well as the clients. If your company uses a pre-Aconcagua version of SCA, you also know that you have to rely on a developer to make even the smallest changes to the functionality of your website. Now, if you're a small business, these costs add up, and often the cost to keep your website updated become prohibitive.
Thanks, Athara. You spoke about some of the challenges that business owners face when it comes to making minor alterations in the SCA sites. How can this be made easier?
Well, the extensibility framework goes a long way towards solving these problems. But before we proceed any further, there are a few terms that you all must understand. The first is the extensibility API. The API is a set of functions that offer access to key parts of a web store via standardized objects and methods. These objects and methods remain stable across different websites and different versions of SuiteCommerce, so it becomes possible to write modular code that can be ported easily from one website to another, as well as across different versions of the platform. The Extensibility API is a logical layer between NetSuite SuiteCommerce code and customization specific to your website, as you can see in this diagram. So the core platform is considered to be the core code that ships with NetSuite, and also the extensibility layer that is on top of the core code. The extension manager and your themes and extensions are the parts that are specific to your account. Now, you could compare the extensibility API to the SuiteScript API, which is used to extend and customize core functionality of the NetSuite platform. The API set will keep growing in each and every release because NetSuite keeps working on it and adds functions that can add more functionality in different areas of the web store. The next term is extensions, which are just packaged up modules of code that can be installed in your NetSuite account and activated and deactivated as needed for your websites. Extensions are like bundles in core NetSuite. In fact, they ship as regular bundles in NetSuite. And just like bundles, they can be installed, versioned, upgraded easily, and are modular. They add functionality on top of web stores and can be bundled and distributed using Suite Bundler. The third term is something that you're all very familiar with, themes. Themes are a kind of extension that cover the entire website and can be used to change a site's look and feel and can be swapped out as a whole.
Athara, in what way can extensions help business owners using SCA for their e-commerce?
For one, they separate the look and feel of the site from the functionality. You don't have to rely on a developer to change the theme of your website anymore. You can do it yourself. Also, if you build your customizations as extensions and refrain from making any changes to the core code, then upgrades become way smoother and easier. You can also choose to activate, deactivate, and upgrade the extensions on your website yourself. But as you can see in this table, the extensibility framework made quite a bit of a difference to the architecture as well as the usability of the platform. For example, before the framework, customizations were mixed in with core code, due to which upgrades were very difficult and often involved almost re-implementing the whole website. But now they're layered on top of the core code. And if you have a Suite Commerce website, you'll know that you get automatic upgrades. And that's because you don't have access to make changes to the core code that ships from NetSuite. You can only make your customizations as extensions, so your base bundles can be automatically upgraded by NetSuite. Also, for developers like me, it made code reuse a lot easier. We used to have to manually copy and paste code from one account to another, which was very time consuming and prone to error. But for now, all we have to do is bundle them as an extension and easily move them from one account to another. It also makes it easier for business users to activate new extensions or remove them as needed from their websites, giving them a great deal of control over what functionality they have on their site. And also, the best thing about the API is that it's backwards compatible, which means that even if you do upgrade your website, the extensions that are coded on your website are still compatible with the new versions. And that used to not be the case before Aconcagua. If you changed your website from one version to another, if you upgraded it, you would often have to rewrite a bunch of code.
And how does one access these extensions?
Well, you have to install extensions as bundles on your account. Once the bundles are deployed, they are not automatically applied to your site. They must first be activated manually. You can use the extension manager to do this. It lets you view, activate, deactivate all of the extensions and themes on your website. Now, keep in mind that extensions must be activated per domain, not per website. So if your website has multiple domains, you'll need to go through the activation process for extensions once per domain. Now, let me show you how that works. I'm logged into one of our demo accounts as an administrator. You don't have to be an administrator to access what I'm about to show you, but you do need to have a role that gives you the permissions to view the Suite Commerce menu. So go to Setup Suite Commerce Advanced and scroll all the way to the bottom and click on Extension Manager. Now you can see we have the extension manager set up for one website, And this is the theme on the website, the active extensions, and take a look at the status here. We'll revisit it later. You can also see what the last activation date was and who did the activation before. So let's click into the extension manager. The active themes and extensions tab shows you all of the themes and extensions that are active on the website right now. So here are my themes. I have a bunch of themes here, but the one that is activated right now is Manner. Say I want Horizon to be my theme instead. I have to check the checkbox against the theme that I want deployed. And then if I click on Activate, the theme gets switched to the one that you have selected. Now, if I click on the Extensions tab, you'll see that that's a bigger list. And you can see themes as well in this list. And that's because, like I said earlier, themes are a subtype of extension. So you'll see themes as well as other extensions here. So these are all of the extensions that are deployed to my account. These are installed as bundles, but not necessarily pushed to the website. So let's say that I want to enable the newsletter sign up extension. I check that checkbox and I can click on activate to activate it. But again, if you have updates available for bundles, it appears here. And if you want to update any of your extensions, then all you have to do is check the checkbox. It will show you what the update status is, and you can also see the description of the extension as published by the partner or NetSuite. So I'm going to click on Activate right now. And you can see that the status now has changed from completed to pending, which means that it's about to kick off the process that will make the changes. And there it is. You can see that it's in progress. Once it's completed, if you clear the cache, then your new changes should appear on your website.
Author, can you tell our audience how to find extensions that are already built and available for purchase or for free?
Yep, sure. There are a few different places where you can find extensions. The first and most obvious one is suiteapp.com, which is NetSuite's marketplace for all kinds of bundles and all kinds of apps. So go to suiteapp.com and click on search. It will take you to a page that lists out all apps that are listed in the marketplace. And under the Buy Business Needs section, click Suite Commerce Extensions. Once you do that, you'll be taken to a page that is filtered by only extensions available for the platform. And it says Suite Commerce, but it's also available for Suite Commerce Advanced. There are 28 results right now, but that number is bound to grow. And you can see who the publisher of these apps are. Some of it is from NetSuite, some of them are from third-party partners, and some of these are free, some of these are paid. Now, if any of it looks interesting to you, I'm going to click into the Suite Commerce shipping bar, right? You can read about what the extension does, and in more detail, you can read about it here, what the features are, what the technical specifications are. Everything is listed here. So if you think this looks interesting, just click on Contact Partner. And if it's a free app, then they will provision it to your account as a shared bundle, and you can install it right away. If it's a paid app, then you'll need to talk to the partner and arrange for a demo and discuss pricing and all of that. The second place you can find extensions is under Suite Answers. So go to Support and click on Go to Suite Answers. Suite Answers, for those who don't know, is NetSuite's knowledge repository. If you have questions or if you need to do research, it's an excellent resource. It does take a while to load, though, so just give it a minute. Okay, so once it's loaded, look for article number 76381. There it is. It's called Commerce Extensions. Here's the answer ID, 76381. You can either search for the answer ID or you can search for commerce extensions, which might give you more results, which is why we mention the answer ID always. And under the available extensions section, you'll see there are 31 results right now. These are all of the extensions that are built by NetSuite. And the bundle IDs available here, most of these are shared bundles, so you can request NetSuite for access. There's all of the documentation about these bundles right here. And not all bundles are compatible with all versions of the platform. So make sure you look at the compatible with column to make sure it's compatible with your version of Suite Commerce or Suite Commerce Advanced. Now, the third resource is more visual. It's the SC Extensions Showcase website. It's called scextensions.suitestore.us. If you go here, this is the Posh theme, by the way, that is available from NetSuite. And hover over extensions, you can see that there are individual entries for each one. But if you want to see all of the extensions in one place, just click on all extensions and say I want to see the blog. I can go here and click see it in action. And here it is. This is the blog extension from NetSuite. So if you want to add a blog to your website, all you have to do is request access from NetSuite, install the extension, activate it, and start adding content. It's as easy as that.
Perfect, Athra. Thank you so much. Athra, while I switch over, can we talk a bit about extensions that your team has developed?
Yeah, sure. So we've developed a bunch of extensions. Most of them started off as requests by customers that we built for a specific need, but then expanded to be more broad to fit other companies as well. I'll go through a few of these. The first one is address validation and completion. It's very common on e-commerce websites these days to see something like this because people don't want to type out their full address as they check out. They want to be able to start typing it out, and they want the website to prompt them as per whatever has been entered. So this actually uses the Google API to autocomplete addresses, and users can choose to override that with their own entries as well. But the good part of using address completion is that A, it's a quicker, better user experience for your customers, and B, it reduces costs, associated costs from shipping carriers because they don't have to charge you to correct mistyped addresses. The second one is, again, something very common, social media sign up. Your customers can use Facebook, Google, Amazon, or their Twitter account to register on your website. They don't have to save a password, and it also has the added benefit that you have basic information about your customers' social media accounts, which is great for marketing. The third one is more B2B focused. You can set up delivery slots for your customers and have them choose one or more delivery slots for their orders. You can also set up cutoff time where you can see it outlined in red in the screenshot up there. And you can choose to have your order split into different delivery slots as per need. And it provides a very Amazon Whole Foods-like experience for your customers while checking out. The fourth one is product personalization. And in this specific example, it's logo embroidery. So your customers can choose to upload their own photograph or their logo and also specify the position that they want it embroidered on the t-shirt, either back or left chest and so on. All of these are configurable, by the way. If you have other positions, you can set those up. And once the user checks out with these values, they are saved on the sales order and passed on to your production team. The last one I'd like to talk about is a trend that has really picked up in 2020. There are subscriptions for everything everywhere right now. And this extension actually ties into our subscription suite app, which is a subscription billing engine that works entirely on NetSuite in the backend. So this extension allows your customers to sign up for subscriptions online. They can also manage their own subscriptions by changing their frequency of shipping from, say, weekly to monthly to daily, putting their subscriptions on hold, canceling them, and so on. We've also built out many other extensions. They're listed here. We don't have the time to go over it all right now, but we will include a summary about all of these in the email that we'll send out after the webinar.
Thanks, Author, for walking us through those extensions. For the benefit of our audience, can you list the range of SCA services we offer?
Sure, yeah. So we do full end-to-end website implementations after design, right? So we don't undertake design services, but we do work with design companies to provide advisory services on best practice. And we do everything from requirements gathering to go live. Now, if our client wants an entirely new website, we can do that. Or if they want to be ported over from, say, Shopify or Magento, WooCommerce, we do that as well. We also get a lot of requests for SCA upgrades from older versions to the latest one, so we undertake that. Sometimes it is a full re-implementation if it's a pre-Aconcagua version, but the ones after that are usually a much smaller project. The third thing we do is performance audits. Often our clients have websites that don't perform up to par. So we do full reviews on websites and make sure that we find out what the issues are. And we don't just limit it to an audit of the website. We also do a full audit of their NetSuite account because the backend could be slowing down the websites. So we do a full thorough performance audit. We deliver reports and also make fixes if needed. We offer basic training on how to use your new SCA website. We offer refresher training on setting up items, images, using the content management tools, anything that the customer needs to do basic maintenance of their website. And we also work as the website maintenance team for several clients, which means that we take over everything related to their website, including planning out what their path should be over the next year, and picking up projects that can be done, making sure the website stays optimized, and doing pre-release testing twice a year.
Thanks, Athra. Audience, if you think you may be in need of any of these services, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our team of seasoned professionals is capable of serving a full spectrum of e-commerce needs. With that out of the way, let's circle back to extensions. Quick question, Athra. Can customizations to your website be done entirely using extensions?
It depends. NetSuite is constantly working on expanding their API set, but there are still functionalities that have not been made available to the extensibility layer. If you have a SuiteCommerce Advanced website, you can still get around that limitation by customizing the source code and adding the functionality you need. However, if you have a SuiteCommerce website, that option is not available to you since the bundles are locked in SuiteCommerce. Now, if you have a requirement that is not available to the extensibility API right now, you can always reach out to NetSuite and raise an enhancement request. If enough number of people file an enhancement request for one particular thing, then NetSuite will pick it up and make sure they release it in a future version. It's not really possible to list out the limitations of extension. So if you have a requirement that needs a custom extension to be built, then the best thing to do is to reach out to an SCA developer to perform a feasibility study and to give you a high-level estimate of costs and effort involved.
What about pre-Aconcagua versions?
So websites that run on versions prior to Aconcagua will not support extensions since they predate the extensibility framework. Customizations to these websites will still need to be done the old-fashioned way, which is by altering the source code. The other option is to upgrade your website to the latest version of SCA, but it's entirely up to clients to decide whether they want to do this because many times it is expensive to perform an upgrade, but you have to weigh the pros and cons and see if you have enough features in the new version that you don't have in your current version, if there is a security vulnerability, and if you want to spend that kind of money, basically.
All right, thank you again for joining this afternoon and participating in today's webinar. If you're not already following us, please follow us on social media. Lastly, here's our contact information should you have any questions regarding anything to do with this webinar or any of our services or suite apps. We have team members across the globe to help facilitate your needs.